Hello, everyone. Waiting for it to completely load, but it should be on already. Thank you for being here. I am Aurora. Let me make sure that you all can hear me nice and loud. Everyone see? There we go. You all can hear me beautiful. You guys are excited, huh? Oh my goodness, look at all those comments. It's exciting. It's an exciting day to be channeling our beautiful beloved Saint Germain. I've been waiting some time to finally channel him, and today is the day. Everything is divinely synchronized and planned. So excited to be here with you all. In case you don't know who I am Aurora, and I am the founder of Quantum Aura Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy. Sorry, trying to load my video here. Okay, good. I can see you all and see myself and see you all. Yes. And like I said, I am the founder of Angelic Universal Regression Alchemy, which is Aura. In case you haven't seen those videos, check them out. I'll do a short intro and then we'll get started soon. Is typically how it works. It is such a beautiful honor to be here with you all. And thank you for being here. Thank you for holding space for his beautiful messages to come forth. I've been talking to him for a long time. And specifically, you're going to hear some noise. We got Zen in the background, which he'll be should be done in a couple minutes, the noise. But thank you. Yeah, so he's been talking to me for some time and love his energy. Love it. Many of you are, very much connected to him. Use him daily whenever it is that you need, for example, transmutation. So going over some of the things that he would like to talk about today and just going to allow for him to just flourish fluently through me and explaining who he is and what are some of these alchemy teachings that he has left behind for us. This comes in a time where we've gone through, you have watched my 9-19-19 sessions that we had, whether they were hypnosis sessions as well as when I had the live talking about the portal. Then we went into we were in the twilight of, within a twilight of a moment. We have a video of that. And then our recent video where we were talking about the energies that were occurring recently, and they were really hard, really hard. I would say some of the hardest energies that we have yet to come, and it was hard working through them and figuring out what is wrong with you. I think you feel like you're losing your mind. Some of the other symptoms that I didn't mention the other day is you were experiencing perhaps chronic pain in the legs, in the body, just pain all over, feeling like perhaps you have a fever, inward fever. So the right now we are, so as we talked about, yesterday was the 1010 portal when I made that video. Today we are on October 11th, so happy 11th. I just love the number 11. So 10-11. So we went through the completion yesterday. From here on, for the rest of the month, they're saying that the energies will be feeling much more wonderful. And today is a day of renewal and will allow for Saint Germain to share who he is and share any more that he wants to on that for us. So you can find me on risingphoenixaura.com, and you could also find me in my Patreon where I host alchemy classes, and Saint Germain and his higher self have been very much a part of creating these alchemy classes that you all have been learning. We do have the priestess program coming up, which is beginning in not this Sunday, so next Sunday, 20, maybe the 21st or 20th, so the next Sunday coming up. If you have not signed up, please sign up. It would be something that would be tremendous for you that you will never forget. I do have a testimonial coming up from the hybrid mother, and she's going into some of the details of the Isis Priestess programs, and as well as she's giving us an update after her hypnosis, her aura hypnosis, which was a good at least maybe 3-4 months ago, maybe 5, as I lose track of time. And so keep an eye on that. That should be hopefully coming up out this weekend. We have many aura regressions waiting waiting patiently that are significant, and know that if we are choosing to go through them and edit them for you, every single one of them will have a specific message. And as we know, as we heal us, we heal the collective. So all of them will have a message for you that would be needed in the time and space. And I never upload them, in order. I always upload them in whenever it is that the divine tells me to. So sometimes I have sessions 6 months ago, and now I'm just uploading because it's meant to come forth now. So thank you for your support. If you want to support me, lastly, if you want to support me for these beautiful channelings, you could go to Patreon. Right. Is exciting it is. He's to be sharing some things that I don't believe he's ever shared, at least from what we are speaking of. So this would be even more of an intimate connection for you all, because this is why I channel these beautiful beings every week. Every week is a different being, a different benevolent being. And the reason why I do this is because to help you understand that they are just like us, and they view themselves never in a pedestal. They view themselves as equals with you. They don't view themselves as gods above us. They are equals to us as they are our brothers and sisters. So this is a way that I give to humanity, to the community, to the collective, where I am giving a piece of them and who they are, so that you could get to know them whenever you work with them, whether it's through meditation, through channel, through classes, through any type of teachings, whether it's mine or anyone else's. That way you know how they feel, their energy, and you know how they are, how you could put a characteristic to them, a role, a emotion, a sensation, from them. It's easy to read energies like that when you understand them. And of course, everything is always of heart discernment. So whatever feels good for you, whatever feels right in your heart. Okay. So hopefully I know you all enjoy these challenges, as we see your beautiful emails coming through every day and your comments here on YouTube. And we know how much they mean to you. And those of you who are here every Friday, I want to humbly thank you for being here and being part of this, and giving me the support and the love, and overall, most importantly, holding the space for the collective, so that even if the collective doesn't hear it, at least you all could hear it. And the minute you all can hear it, it becomes a ripple, an imprint into the collective consciousness of humanity. So thank you for being part of that. I truly, humbly thank you and love you and honor you for that. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Thank you for my opening speech. And I'm going to go ahead now and start preparing myself to go into channel. What a beautiful character he is. Drink some water. It's a calmer day today, so we have the puppies nice and calm today. Is my fire going back good? Looks a little dim. It's on, but it's dim. That's okay. All right. While Zen steps out, I'm going to make sure this fire goes stronger. There we go. Okay. And Minnie, I forgot to mention before I go in, if you could have me out a little bit past to my time. I have to go somewhere today. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're walking on.
Okay.
1 minute.
You as well, my love. I love you. Saying bye to Zen, sorry. Welcome all. I am Saint Germain, though I am not quite fond of saint. That is, as I was not a saint. My mother would have been one first to tell you that I was quite troublesome. A catalyst and an indigo, as you would brand this in your time and space. I would prefer Germain or Sir Germain, as those who knew me then would call me. And the reason why I mentioned why I was a child that could have been seen as troublesome, a child that perhaps had an excess amount of energy, could not stay still, always thinking and planning and trying to decipher what is in front of me, whether it was a feather fallen from the back of a bird flying, whether it was a leaf releasing from its branch. I wanted to know how these things were intertwined to one another and what were the elements that surrounded each one of these pieces that were in front of me, these beautiful works of art. With my curiosity and my looking to unveil of all around me, I continued to grow throughout my years. And as I grew, my dreams became prophetic. For as you have known through prior channels, your dream time, the delta brainwave of dream time, it is the strength of you here. It is a mirror. It is the other side of you, the side that is no longer bounded to the illusion, the physical illusion. Here you remember your divinity and who you are beyond this illusion. I continue to receive messages from the Raw Collective, who I work with then, as you would call them now. But they were seen just as then. You could say star seats, star people, extraterrestrials. I would look at everything in front of me, always in a deep meditative state, whether if it was me just sitting there in the night and looking up at the stars, intently watching them for hours, trying to figure out what each energy was and which each of them housed a different consciousness, and registering what it was like. See, I was not bounded to this matrix system. And to further explain, so that you shall thou understand, I was and am, as I am still rippling here and laying here in the grass as I am speaking through you all, to you all, through this clear, loving channel. I am laying here in this grass, connecting to you through the stars, through my pineal gland, my third eye, as you know it now. For that is my time machine, and how I'm able to connect to you whether it's now or any time it is that you call upon the alchemy energies that I left behind as teachings. And as I'm laying here through this grass, if you could imagine time itself, I'm going to a deep, deep theta delta brainwave where the sky itself is moving and speeding up as if time itself was shifting. And this is done within an instant. I was and am the incarnation of Archangel Metatron, in which why it is that you find the violet flame. Honored I am to be able to share that with you, and understanding that when it is that we, as the consciousness of soul group of Metatron, incarnate or fractalize upon your earth, we have a strong hunger to decipher and intertwine the densities in your existence, whether it is in the time and space I am now or in the time and space that you are there now. For today's my 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 intent for today is to bridge some of these past teachings to the now and the current you that you are there, bridging them and helping you understand. And most importantly, I am here as the catalyst and indigo that I am to remind you that you too have a piece of a catalyst within you that is waiting to activate and awaken. For in order to connect to your heart, you go through a process of catalyzing yourself and all around you. Every day, that different parts of what you do, you are catalyzing you and around you. A negative thought form has been created upon catalyzing or catalyst. This is what we are here for, to catalyze earth, creation, and its ascension. For only when we are able to expand upon this and deeply intertwine and soak into what it is that we're working upon and viewing for ourselves and others, it is that we enter this brainwave of infinite consciousness, infinite intelligence, infinite possibilities, understanding that all actions have a reaction, an equal amount reaction to them, beauties there is, and understanding how, if I were to push something with enough force that it would roll, if I were to place my foot ever so gently on the grass, that the grass itself would bend. Understanding that we are the elements. The elements are not outside of us. They are within us and all around us. We are thy elements. We are. Thy elements coexist within us and in all that we are. Now, if I could go to the process of how it was that I myself experienced my awakening. As I work within my meditation and my delta brainwave of dream time, I learned to see the masks around me, the illusions around me. Trying to ground. Legs are numb. Bear with us. As I work with every element that I worked upon, whether it was the water, and I watched and I experienced and I felt how the water throughout my body moved to every part of it, how the water itself even was intertwined to every part of me within my bones and my tissue and the cells and the skin. How we are these beautiful organisms. How I learned how the wind worked and moved and shifted Earth itself, changing, winds of change, winds of renewal. How the wind caressed the trees and the leaves and the land, I myself. How it swam and danced with me as I stood still. I swayed, the beauty of it. As I began to understand that, yeah, it was an illusion, but yet it was quite a beautiful an illusion. I remembered, I began the remembrance and the activation of this universe. And with every memory came back to me, and every activation, and every act of true love, whether for myself or others, I began the unplugging of the matrix, the stimulation that you are within. Little by little, every wire began to unplug itself from within me. And as this occurred and I catalyzed every part of me, I grew stronger and stronger and less dense in understanding that this game itself is my creation, is my doing, for I am the creator. And as I mastered the very last element of fire, and let me explain to you what exactly fire is. Fire itself is an element that is constructed from a etheric, the most beautiful, highest frequency that you can find upon this universe. A purification, an etheric energy of fire. Understanding that fire itself is life itself, for the very soul within you, right there in the middle of your heart, is a flame. The soul itself, if you were to hold it in the palms of your hands, you would see that it's a beautiful flame with a consciousness within it. Understanding that every soul goes through a process of a purification to be within this universe, to be specifically upon this third, fourth dimension that you are currently experiencing. It goes through a purification and then regains lovingly, perhaps struggling with struggle, it regains itself, bringing back pieces of it that thought it had lost within time, thought they had been closed off. For this is the beauty of this game and this role that you have agreed upon. It is a beautiful game in understanding that you could be the most lost you can say. However, you can still have the chance and the opportunity to regain yourself little by little every day that you choose to open your eyes upon this simulation and illusion. Every day you choose to set foot off your bed and walk with your whole shoulders up. It is another grand, beautiful day of experiments, day of transformation. And little by little, I unplugged myself from within the simulation. And I became the wielder of the alchemy, the wielder of the elements around me, for I knew that this was my creation and my doing. Though with it came struggle, of course, for though this was my creation, there was many, 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 at times it seemed like an infinite amount of opposing me, trying to bind me, trying to control me, trying to gain my secrets, as they would, mysteries as they saw them. Was a simple, very simple, for when I started to unplug these darknesses and controls around me in my time and space, I learned how to jump back and forth within time. I learned how to, within my mind, jump to the me now laying in the grass and the me now, me in the future. Who knows these things? The older me, who lived over hundreds, years, hundreds. For I realized that time did not control me. I controlled time. For when I realized that it was only but a limitation, I learned to work with time, how to slow it down, how to speed it up, how to work within the illusions of the people in front of me that were guided by one's mind instead of one's flame soul, the heart. It was very simple. Some of these things that were looked upon as impossible were not impossible for me, for I believed that the impossible was not possible, for are no limitations. Once you realize and you have unplugged yourself from this control. And as we work with these flames within me that I felt, and these etheric flames within that consists of the organic matrix of this universe and the universal webbing, and all that intertwines with all that is and has been and shall be. I began to unlock the flames within me, the blue and the red flame. I shall explain to you what that means. The red flame is located in your root core chakra, which would be the red ray. And this consists of your fear, guilt, lower vibrations as anxiety, not trusting oneself, all that consists with what holds you dense in a chakra of action, of stopping the actions of who you are. What holds you heavy in this red energy? The red is there not to harm you. The red is there to transmute and to heal the guilt, the shame, the fear, the bindings of your cage and the bindings of the heaviness of your anchors and your chains. That is what it's there for. It's there to burn those off and purify them and release you from your own incarceration, your own encagement. That is what they are there for, this red flame. And in this red flame, you realize that you are furious and you are unstoppable and you are infinite beyond this existence. When you regain your red flame, then you realize that the blue flame has been waiting there, waiting silently here within your throat, and the blue flame that exists intertwining consciously within all that is and all that you see around you is the blue. The blue is what holds this consciousness of this organic matrix together. The blue is what holds the soul's energies within it, essences. And the blue it is here that is found, that you find your speech, your self-worth, your trust, your brilliance, the brilliance that is ready to shine through of you. The speech, the confidence, the self-worth, as I said, to understand that you are worthy to be heard of, and you are worthy to be loved, and you are worthy to be embraced. You are worthy to have that child. You are worthy to enter through your heart into the 5 dimension, the 5th dimension, the 5D. You are worthy to love yourself, and you are worthy to love others. This is where you find. For once you empower and you embrace your red flame, then it is that your blue flame becomes activated and ignites itself. And when these beautiful intertwine to one another like a beautiful dance and interlocking, when they merge together, it is then that we have our beautiful violet flame. And this is what the consistency and consciousness of the elements of the violet flame that you so call upon, that intertwines and exists within all the waves of this earth and this universe, dances and breathes and ignites through all that you see within and feel and sense all around you. This is the violet flame. Understanding what it is that you're calling upon helps you ignite it and activating and help you grow with it. For every time that you activate it within you and you become that essence engulfed within that violet flame, you realize all that is that the root chakra has been learning and teaching, that you have been teaching and learning from it. You understand it and embrace it and grow and spring out from it upon the self-worth of the blue ray and the consciousness and souls of that you are. When the violet flames activate within you and these chakras within you activate, they intertwine and activate all the pillars within you, the column within you of the 7 rays, activating, springing forth a flourishment, a luminescent, violet energy ray that echoes out through your crown And this is where you connect to the cosmic gateway and the energies of creation. This is the transformation that I lived upon, the incarnation that I had in remembrance of all that I mentioned. Thank you. You may proceed with your questions.
Thank you for that wonderful knowledge. And we welcome you, Sir Germain. Thank you very much. Most of us here frequently use the fire and water elements. Can you please enlighten us on how we can use other elements such as air, earth, and ether? And perhaps there are more elements that we have forgotten about. If you could help us understand those as well. Thank you.
Thank you for this question. Wonderful question. This could be a whole class upon it. I shall try to summarize. The water and the air. The air itself, we touch bases upon it. The air itself is what carries energy, is what embraces, hugs it, and flies with it, and draws it to the energies that the parts in where the ley lines and the different elements of the water and the earth and the fires. The air itself carries the energies of plasmic energy, of the solar flares, of the love light and the waves, the as you call it in your time and space, Schumann resonance, these frequencies, the air itself moves it around, shifts it. The air itself is an alchemist itself and carries it and embraces it. The air itself carries forth the Aurora Borealis, the energy that you see within these portal openings. These Aurora Borealis itself is the frequency, the highest frequency that you can see within your physical eyes of energy itself, of love. It is beautiful, energetic, plasmic energy, infinite love that flows through, and the air itself grabs it and little by little emerges it and it breaks it apart. It spreads it into the atmosphere, into the air that you breathe, and all that is you within the air. And the oxygen, it goes into the trees that creates the oxygen. It goes into you, the oxygen that goes within you. It goes to all, for all within that carries life needs oxygen in one shape or form. Aurora Borealis is this energy that keeps this earth alive, that keeps this earth going. It's a beautiful dance, emerging and soaking itself into earth like a sponge. When you look upon it, you realize that the beauties and the magics of it and how it moves around like it is very much alive. And you realize that life itself are, is the beauties of an Aurora Borealis. The colors, the dance, the swaying, the love. And know that every time you breathe in that air, it is the Aurora Borealis that you're breathing within you and all the cells. That Aurora Borealis that you breathe in helps the building of your 13 strand DNA, helps the transformation of your crystalline body. This is what you're breathing in. And breathing in and knowing that it's reaching every part of Earth itself. And you spoke of the Earth. A way that you could work upon the Earth is to understand that there is, just as there is an Aurora Borealis fluently flowing through you, an energy of your higher self flowing through you, infinite energy. This itself energy can be grounded and rippled upon the earth itself. When you lay upon it, feel the oneness of you and all that is you around you and the elements, and feel yourself merge into that ground. Soak into it, fall into it, surrendered, lovingly. Feel it embracing you, and you become of the parts of those roots that intertwine those veins of earth, those blood veins of earth, life bloodlines of roots of every plant and every tree and every flower. Become one with it. Feel yourself soak into it. Feel yourself be as a chameleon and become the dirt and the roots itself and the ley lines, the roots that connect to the ley lines. Feel them. See them now within your imagination and how they are these beautiful colors, just as these colors of the Aurora Borealis, these colors as well coexist within the earth itself. And she has great beauties of love and colors. Feel yourself. Every time you walk upon your home, know that you're walking barefoot upon these lands, whether you are at a higher plane or a lower plane. Feel it all. This is how I mastered alchemy itself. I understood and felt and became one with all of it. I merged into all of it, all the elements. Now, there are many elements beyond this existence here. Within your time and space, all you know of the five: the earth, water, fire, wind, and spirit. However, there are many elements beyond. That could consist of your table of contents that break down some of these chemical elements. You find ripples and clues within your time of these elements that exist beyond. The element itself of the zero, of the twilight, and the in-between of everything that touches in between, and in between of the opposite of one another. The water, the land touching itself. This is an element itself, the 0 point in creation. The element of star energy. The soul itself within you is an actual star. Much could be powered with these energies within you. This soul within you is a piece of a star consciousness. The elements of metals and gold that exist here and beyond here, that are amplifiers of all throughout creation. The elements of the pure source, sun energy, bringing forth the renewal and the recharging of energies. understanding that source itself, the sun itself is source, is a representation and a portal and a key, a way to you for you to touch and grab a piece of source and sun to yourself and your flame. Understanding that you are your creator and you can grab these pieces without harming none. You can grab these pieces to yourself and intertwine with them like a sacred love that you are, for you are a beautiful piece of sacred love. You yourself have been created from a piece of sacred union, sacred sex, and sacred energies. For beyond the veil, these creations of intertwining of physical beings, and at their wholeness, it is a beautiful sacred love and interchanging of energies. Therefore, you are this beyond the limitations. You are a beautiful creation, a beautiful divine specimen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful and very enlightening. Can we use alchemy and elements to recover fractals and fragments of our souls that we've lost over lifetimes, some of which have been lost over many dimensions as well? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, you can. For when you realize that you are only but your own limitations, as I explained, how I surpassed this and ascended piece by piece of myself and shifted every part of me and all that was of me, I tested myself to every limitation that I could be tested. And I surpassed every one of them, for I believed in all that I could be, and I believed in these energies that you can be as well. For humbled I am to be here and reminding you and teaching you what I learned. May you take pieces of these, pieces that feel right in your hearts. Take pieces of them and embrace them and love them, for they are carrying such great infinite love for you and sovereignty for you. As we had channeled through Aurora, we, through the 10-10-10 portal, as of yesterday within your time and space, you can still work within this month of working duently, strategically, fluently, disciplined, working in these fractals of you who have been lost within darkness, lost within entities, stuck within your earthly plane, lost within depths of pain or trauma, lost and forgotten at times it feels. You can work with them, and the answers are there within yesterday's channelings. That is a form that you can work and send the love to the yous there. For the you here is stronger, whether you choose to acknowledge it or accept it. The you here is stronger, and it is stronger because you are the beauties of the combinations of the 0 points and the unions of all the mirrors and fractals and multidimensionalities of you. This is why you are at your strength in this human incarnation. For you are the combinations, all the yous. And some of you, and also of the yous of the future. For when you connect to the future of the yous, you are connecting to the higher selves and soul groups and collective consciousness of the yous that exists in the higher dimensions of yous. All is possible. All is possible. All is possible. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Can we ask you a question about working with time? Perhaps it's one of the most apt questions for you. How can we work on speeding up or slowing down time? Thank you.
Thank you. It is only when you have forgotten that time itself is not there. You stop looking at your watches, your devices, and you have forgotten time itself, that it does not truly exist. This is when you are able to stretch out your times. Because it is that you have forgotten and you are not counting down the minutes and the seconds, all of a sudden you enter a frequency of oneness. This oneness where you realize the beauties that we talked about of the nature and the oneness of all that exists within creation. All the combinations that I have spoken of till now are these combinations. When you realize this, and all of a sudden you realize that it seems like it's been an hour within your earthly plane. In actuality, only 10 minutes have passed. When you forget all the worries and the pains around you and you go into this beautiful surrender, silence, surrender, that is the key. That flow of surrender, it is that when you forget and you slow time. Now, time itself, I would not suggest speeding up time. For when we speed up time, it is a way of imbalance, a way to, if time itself is speeding and going fast for you, you are moving too fast. You need to slow down and admire the beauties around you and remember the oneness that you are. Time itself should not be moving fast for you. Now it can move at an average rate, but not where it's rapidly moving too fast. For before you know it, within a blink of an eye, it will be 10 years from now. And you realize and you look back from 10 years ago and you realize, how did these 10 years fly by? Oh, if only I could turn back time now and do it all over again and cherish every moment that I had with my family and my animal companions and my friends and my loved ones and this tree that is beneath me holding my back upright and this butterfly that is emerging me with its beauty of freedom and transformation. Oh, what I would have done to have lost myself to time then and admired everything. For it is in the now that you live always. It is in the now. And remembering that is for when you start truly living. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's a beautiful hint for all of us to pay attention to perhaps elements and things around us that we're missing because of the rush. Thank you. Did you create your own personal alchemy symbol when you first fractalized? And if so, does that symbol continue to morph as the universe expands and changes? Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I was not just one alchemy symbol. I was a multitude of alchemy symbols, a symbol that you would see within your time and space of a octagon, yet intertwined with the Metatron cubic star. That is my symbol. More so clearly for your understanding. For within the Metatron cubic star, you can intertwine, seems as an infinite amount of symbols. I am that and was that. And this, yes, has imprinted and soaked upon your plane to help you clear and remember that every minute it is a rebirth, every second is a rebirth, and every hour that the time turns, it is a rebirth. All is a one, 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 one when you see it in a wholeness of oneness. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Can we take another question or two?
You may proceed.
Thank you. Can you suggest how we can work on our inner alchemy and elements to marry our divine masculine and feminine before we ascend? Thank you.
You yourself, as we have spoken prior, as my brother Uriel spoke prior through alchemy, you yourself are a beautiful piece of work of art of alchemy. Symbols intertwined, and frequencies and sounds and energies, all these beauties intertwined to one another. Such beautiful pieces of art, of creation. We give you many clues within the crop circles, as we have spoken detailedly in past times, within the light codes that you see coming out from the portals of the sun. Within the light codes, you might even see now rippling out from the moon, for the moon itself is turning into a higher percentage of positive polarization. Infringed upon, it was no longer infringed upon. In a higher outwinning percentage of infringement, it is. These symbols and understandings, understanding that everything itself is an alchemy symbol. For the bird to fly, it is consisted of several many different symbols intertwined to itself. It is a beautiful, as if you were an architecture and you were to draw, or an artist, and how it is that you draw your different boxes and triangles and circles and lines to make a body of a bird, and how these different lines and creation within this bird creates and manifests the shape and the life of a bird, understanding that you are these beauties of alchemy itself, and learning teachings of one's heart, of unplugging from this matrix, teachings of sacredness and respect and honor, of the beauties that you are, and the alchemies that you are, and the alchemists that you are. All life within itself, all life is an alchemy. You are all an alchemist. For you just to eat what it is that you do is an alchemy in itself. Chewing that food, you are breaking down those minerals. The body itself is all a beautiful transformation of the organs. That is an alchemy itself, how it goes through that process of digestive and bowel movements. Now, understanding that all is alchemy and alchemizing itself, energy itself is alchemizing around you, all instantly, infinitely, all around you. For the dog to walk upon its four legs, it needs to use the alchemy within it and the symbols and the shapes within it to move its legs and to speed up and to go slow, slow and fast. This is all alchemy in itself. Understanding that not one person is an alchemist. All within creation is alchemy. For it all within creation is a multitude of etheric energies, fire soul energies, star energy, fire element, water, earth, wind elements, sun elements. These, you are this beautiful combination of alchemy. Thank you.
Thank you for that. You touched upon the topic of matrix. You briefly just mentioned it. Can you share with us specific actions that we can take to awaken from the matrix on our own? And that could be probably a final question. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. It is one of the most significant questions for you right now. As I'm laying on this grass, I am looking at all of you. And I'm looking at you as a energetic collective energy upon your earth. And I can see how some of you, so many of you, lost within your darkness. And then there are some of you who are in the process of ascension and of awakening. And I see how some of the choices that you, as I mentioned, you are your creator. These choices that you have in front of you, always make a choice never of fear. Always make a communication never of fear, of guilt, of shame, these lower vibrations of the root. Master your red flame. For the red flame carries through our earth, and it has been activated since the time and space of the June of this year. Carry these and activate them. Your choices for within your free will can be both your worst enemies, but yet can cause you great growth. Though with that pain, it could give you a action to that reaction, a reaction of strength, if you so choose it. Many of you too often are guided by the negative technology, and I can see it clearly. Whoa, all around you. And understanding there is nothing to fear within this negative technology. For if you do not go into a fear, then this negative technology becomes irrelevant. It becomes deactivated to you. It becomes unactivated to you. For it is only when it registers, your frequency registers into a lower frequency, is when these waves of energy from these negative technologies pick up on that and then influence your thought form to not follow your heart. And this is your biggest obstacle of unplugging, is the fact that when you lower your frequency, you make choices upon your life that do not follow your heart and astray you further and further, perhaps into a deeper density, a deeper infringement of these negative technologies. This is what this causes. Don't give it fear. Don't feed it fear. Don't give. Do all that you do, not of fear or envy or jealousy or hatred. None of it. None of your actions shall be reflected upon these lower vibrations. All of them should always be created and sprung forth and intently from a high vibration of love and understanding and compassion from your heart. And when you start sovereignly flowing and swimming and riding these waves of the heart's infinite love source energy that you are, then that is the removal of this matrix. And you can walk upon this plane just as I did, no longer being tied to the wires and stimulation of the matrix, of the non-organic matrix, where you could be walking intertwined with the beautiful chords and lights and source energy of the organic universal webbing and connection of all that is and will be intertwining in within all creation organically of organic matrix. Walk within lovingly, not holding you heavy, freely, feeling all that is of you and all that is outside of you. Thou is what thou shalt want to be. Thou is what one shall want to attract. Thou is what thou calls upon thyself. You are all that is of you because of what surrounds and consists of you. Thank you. It has been a humbled honor to be here, emerge within this grass, and feel the elements around me, and connecting to you in this time and space. Now I shall go rediscover something else that attracts my attention. I love you all with all that I am, and stand in your I am presence of the violet flames that coexist, intertwined to all that is. We love you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Minnie. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, everyone who is here with me today. Hope you enjoyed that. As wonderful as it feels within my soul. Please subscribe, share this video, like it, and thank you for your encouragement, your support, and your love. Thank you. And I will see you next Friday, and keep an eye out for the videos to come throughout the week until next Friday. I love you guys with all that I am. I honor you, I thank you, and I respect you. Have a beautiful, blessed, glorious weekend. Thank you.